Thank you, Mr. President. My question is to the Minister for Environment and Heritage. Minister, has the New South Wales Government already made a decision to permanently stop timber harvesting in the 176,000 hectares of state forest that has been assessed as suitable for inclusion in the proposed new national park, or could timber harvesting resume in any part of these 176,000 hectares?
The Honourable Penny Sharp.
Thank you, and I thank the honourable member for a question. I mean, the government's basically placed a moratorium on harvesting within the proposed boundaries of the Great Koala National Park, which is the 176,000 hectares that's been widely reported. There's two reasons for that. One is that there is ongoing discussion within the industry in terms of the amount of wood volume that would be taken out as a result of the park. For members that are paying attention, it's around 29% of the total wood volume across the Northern Forestry Agreement. And there's also a significant impact in relation to the high quality logs within that, just over 40%. Those discussions are ongoing and that process will continue. Also mentioned, and we went through this quite extensively last week in the House, that the government has put forward for assessment a forest method that would allow, if adopted, would provide an opportunity for there to be carbon credits within the area of the park. That's an independent process. It's currently being assessed by the federal government, and we hopeful that will be finalised. So the final issues in terms of the park will be finalised when those two matters are dealt with.
Thank you. A supplementary question, the Honourable Susan Carter.
Minister, could you elucidate on your answer in terms of the purpose of the 12-month moratorium and how much of the purpose is related to assessment of suitability for inclusion in an offset project to obtain carbon credits under the proposed new methodology yet to be approved?
The Leader of the Government.
Look, I feel like I just sort of answered that. It's a bit of a repetition of the actual question, but sure, I mean, we've been very clear about this. It's about both of those things. And ultimately, support for the Great Koala National Park will have to come before Parliament in the form of legislation. And it has to come forward in relation to the transfer of state forests into a national park. A national park, as we have spoken at length of, has huge opportunities in relation to biodiversity and support for conservation and providing a world-class tourism opportunity here. The real question here, and again I'd put it to what is the Liberal Party going to do in relation to this? Because if you want to know what's not clear, is what on earth is their position or not? At least the National Party are pretty clear about this. They're against it.
A point of order has been taken. The Honourable Chris Rath.
Too much truth being told.
Thank you, Mr. President. There was a very specific supplementary question asked by the Honourable Susan Carter. The question had nothing to do with the Liberal Party's position or the National Party's position, and everything to do with government policy. I'd ask you to direct the Minister back to
yes,
that question.
Thank you. I'll uphold the point of order. The Minister has the call.
That I would make also in terms of the finalisation of the Great Koala National Park is that there will be legislation that comes before this House. Every single person in this chamber, no matter what political party you're from, including the Liberal Party and the National Party, will have the opportunity to decide the final boundaries in relation to this park, and it will be extremely important. I want to place on record and urge all members of this House to take the opportunity to provide a world-class tourism opportunity, a world-class national park that actually protects more than 100 threatened species, and also has the opportunity to gain carbon credits, as this is millions of dollars of money that can be used to fund those that are currently polluting to actually be able to put money into nature. And I would have thought that was something that you were in favour of as well. So that's something that we're pursuing, all of those. As we also do the careful and necessarily sensitive work with affected mills and with affected businesses, and that work continues, and we will continue
Order.
to do
The Honourable
that.
Wes Fang is in the same boat as the Honourable Damien Tudor Hope and the Honourable Natalie
Well, I do know
Warden
that you had to fall to the
question.
Liberals to actually ask this question, which is pretty interesting. But the point here is that this work continues, and as we've said all along, it's about structure. It's about the impact on the structure.
Thank you.